the past few months, I've realized I want to travel across the world and film all of the amazing people and places on this earth. The only problem is that I live in the middle of Kansas, which is one of the most boring states in America. How can I get shots like these while living in a place that looks like this? So I began researching, and after a few weeks, I had drawn a 900-mile long path across Kansas. My goal is simple: to travel across the most boring state in America and make a video that is just as visually appealing as some of the most interesting places in the world. Joining me on my trip across Kansas will be my two friends Grace and Claire. Claire will be traveling with me through western Kansas, while Grace will join me on the central and eastern side of the state. The first stop of the trip would be at Mushroom Rock, which is exactly what it sounds like. Yeah. We then continued heading east to a rather strange landmark. Upon a hill just north of Lynchburg, Kansas, is a small stone castle. This area was supposedly home to a rich and wealthy nation of Native Americans, but when the Spanish arrived in 1541, it turned out this nation was nothing but a myth. The Spanish ended their expedition somewhere near where this castle stands today. We continued heading east, passing through some of the only remaining areas of the tallgrass prairie left in North America. After a brief hike, we made it to Cottonwood Falls. There we go, now it's caught. Eastern Kansas is filled with a wide variety of trees and plants. This region receives much more rainfall than other parts of the state, leading to a lush and green environment, and helps to create a wide network of rivers, streams, and lakes. After visiting the largest waterfall in Kansas, I said goodbye to Grace and began traveling west by myself. noticed the farther I traveled west, the more rugged and dry the landscapes became. The Castle Rock Badlands would end up becoming a good indication of the vastness of western Kansas. Once I arrived in Goodland, I met up with my friend Claire, who would be joining me for the last few days of the road trip, and we began making our way to the very northwestern edge of Kansas. In order to reach the intersection of Kansas, Nebraska, and Colorado, we realized we would need to drive right through the middle of...
turning west into private land at the red marker. Red marker's there. Continue on private road for 2 3/4 miles in a northwest direction, following the signs. We're going to see some cows!
It turns out that the cows were probably more interesting than the actual landmark we were searching for. The only thing at the intersection of Kansas, Nebraska, and Colorado was a small metal plate on the ground, so we didn't stay for very long, but decided to go to the final destination for the day, the Arikaree Breaks. On the last day of the road trip, we headed south out of Goodland with quite a few places we wanted to see before the end of the day.
Oh my gosh! You could like fall off cliffs out here. What in the... Oh my goodness! I've never seen this.
For the first stop of the day, we went to the Fort Wallace Museum, a former military post built to protect travelers crossing the prairie. But it ended up seeing more Indian attacks than any other fort in Kansas. We continued heading south to Lake Scott, where we got snow cone. Although Kansas is well known for being a very flat state, one of the most incredible things to see is when the endless miles of land are abruptly broken by these towering rock formations called monument rocks. It's a camel. Before the road trip ended, we had one last stop we wanted to make. Within Little Jerusalem State Park are a few different lookout points requiring a hike of around 3 miles to view them all.